All right, we have an odd piece here that needs to get out of here. I always told people, not to drop things, that anything that was cosplay ability, toy-wise, pick it up. So this is The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe's The White Witch's Wand. A trilogy that, like, it disappeared from people's minds. Isn't that fascinating? They were really well done films, and then just, that was it. That was it. I have no idea. The toys were really well made. There were Disney Store exclusive pieces. And I had this, I got on discount, you guys can see right there. I have no idea what the market is on this thing. I need to get it out of here, but it'll be really fascinating. Alex in the bottom, let us know what it's worth because it's just a completely dead series. And they're going to revitalize it. They're going to revitalize it with a rock and roll themed Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe being worked on right now as we speak, which I think is going to crash and burn so hard. It might be amazing to watch the failure. It'll probably only get to one movie, of course. So that being said, we have a smaller video here. We messed up and dropped more things because I'm super awesome. The beginning of the tub opening did not work out. There were some microphone problems, SD card problems. So we're just going to start with the toy that was originally on top of the tub. It's a redo. And it's not just a redo. It's the Griffins. I like the concept. This is like a sitcom family TV show called The Griffins. So this is a Kmart exclusive. Look at this. Kmart had no goddamn business making something so cool. Let's just put it that way. The company was called Formative International, and that's a really good smart one. But this is a subsidiary of Kmart. They ordered and had this as an exclusive for their stores. And if you visit any of your Kmarts, you can go there and ask because there are no more left. The artwork is banging. The drawings are really well done. This is, a couple tones of colors being utilized, but it works so well. So the monster here, if you look at him, he's more of a gargoyle. And once you see the artwork and look at it a little bit more, how do you mess that up? They're gargoyles, not griffins. But you know what they were shooting for? Copying off the Gargoyles TV show. So that's why they call it the Griffins, the legends of the past. See, there's a little bit of logic behind it. And you're like, wait a minute, I see what you're going for. So on that note, the head sculpt's really unique looking, and I like the teeth coming out like that. The rest of the body, though, he's naked. He's very naked. And then you have to pause and be like, yeah, sculptor, where's the rest of the details on this guy? He's just got a lot of veins everywhere on his legs, on his arms, and on his chest muscles. Oh yeah. Kids love veins. That's what I found out in our studies. And we applied veins originally to the figure, and our boss said, no. We need more veins on the villain because, like, kids are going to be like, dude, I love veins. So, yeah, I hope those kids grew up to like varicose veins in their women. This is really creepy. So we're going to move to the other side. The back of the package shows the variety of colors and weapons, and that the figure actually can be transformed into the gargoyle, which is pretty creative. I don't know why they had to do that extra detailing step there. It didn't cost them that much extra financially, but it's an extra little gimmick. And you know what? We're fine with little fun, happy gimmicks like that. Different wings, different shields, different heads. This is a very substantially large line, and it's a really, really nice piece. Unfortunately, I'm going to have to let it go. I do like creative stuff like this, but man, the more you look at these things, the more I talk about these things, the more I'm like, I'm going to keep it, but I got to sell more. And things aren't selling with that July 15th USPS increase. So we're going to let this puppy go, but that is veiny. Let's just put it that way. They should have just been called the Veiny Monsters. That may have actually made it sell better. So we will continue on with the box now. So we have Centurions, Jake Rockwell, micro laser, flashlight. A variety of toy lines in the 80s had numerous novelty items produced for them, and Centurions is one of them. Impulse went balls to the wall in making wristwatches and this larger flashlight. I remember that. The binoculars of Ace McCloud. Look at that. Ace, Jake, Max Ray. And there was more. There's like bike horns and just it keeps going. The giant kids role play sets. There's so much stuff. But Impulse was pretty smart on this one. This really is a small posable action figure. The arms move, the legs move, little accessories just like the Kenner one. They just included a flashlight in order to get around the action figure sense of it to an extent. These are wonderful pieces. They're a bit uncommon to get. I would probably say these may run up to like 100, 150. Now, isn't that crazy? I could be wrong. Pulling out of my butt, to be honest with you. But these things were so much fun to collect in the late 90s and mid 2000s. You'd go to the toy show and like this would be like the junker stuff. That'd be $10 to $15 each. And you'd buy it because it was fun. It was, there was not much money involved in toy collecting for these oddball pieces. So I don't have too many of them. I just have this piece and probably a couple others. But I guess we can open it. I still like this stuff. And I've kind of passed that moment where I can just go out and buy the world, as we've mentioned many, 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 many times. And I'm just happy to have what I have. Look at that. Got a little stand there. See, I told you, the legs are posable. The arms are posable. The little accessories can come off. Can they? I thought they could. Yep, look at that. Really, really uncommon to find these things. And you don't find this stuff at toy shows anymore. It's just really difficult. So I'm going to keep that. Probably the one I have. What is that? How did this get in here? Did somebody put this in here when I wasn't looking? What's going on, guys? Yeah, so Evangelion is extremely popular in Japan, and if you know your anime, you know your anime. Like, it is in the core blood when Japanese people are born, is their DNA that Evangelion, all the character names, all the angel names. It's just how it is. This is one of the numerous UFO catcher. You see that like here? Yep, all UFO catchers have that. It would hang in the machine. And they did Asuka, Ray, tons of this stuff, and it was fun. Here you go, Sega Prize. To pick up this stuff in Japan because nobody cared. So you would get these in large bundles at times or by themselves. Like this would have been $2. And I was like, hell yeah, for like 3 years. I was just buying up tons of Evangelion stuff because it was just fun. I mean, I was shipping boxes like crazy home. And they were everywhere. And now I don't see these that much anymore in Japan, but they're not worth too much more. Evangelion is heavily respected, heavily collected. They make product for it to this day, but the vintage stuff doesn't have like this power behind it of value. It's just kind of a fun novelty. So we can let that go and some of the other pieces I picked up over the years. We have Bakugan again. And this is Series 1. And if you notice, the package is a little bit wonky, in my opinion. So we have the character, but what's the character's name? Oh, I'm sorry. Can't be bothered with giving the character's name. Is it on the back? No. And I hated that about Series 1. And then it includes this Bakugan trading card that's exclusive to this character. But they flipped it over. You can't even see the actual character artwork, which would have been a great selling point. But, the card should have been right here, showing the card artwork. This should have been up. It's not the best package design. 3 discount stickers on that. That's crazy. $1.99. I have no idea what this thing is worth. The clear ones, as I mentioned earlier, those are usually more difficult, more in demand. There are some of these pieces that can hit hundreds of dollars. This is not one of them. But I'll let all the Bakugan stuff go. I'm okay with just owning a loose one. We are moving on. Yeah. Castlevania. So these were produced by Neca. Usually I can complain about something with toys. Oh, this is too big, this is oversized, this is too small. The details are... No, these are perfect. They did 4 characters, and they included little miniature monsters and then little accessories that Belmont could pick up. Oh my god, this is series. They're so good. They're so good. I was so excited when they came up with these. I went out and bought 4 packages, as you can see, and then I got 4 more carded ones. I opened up those. I went out and I tried to find employees that had worked on this line with Neca so I could buy prototypes. And I'd love to find them because it looks like a number of these were sculpted too up. At least the accessories were. And I have some of the original wax sculpts of like the capes and some of the animals and little totems there, but none of the figures. And they would just, I would love that, to be honest with you. This is a passion of mine. So if I went back into game collecting heavily, my focus would be Zelda, Castlevania, and Blaster Master. Like really keep it focused. I mean, video games cost how much now? Yeah, it was just, But I used to play Castlevania as a kid. The PC Engine, Castlevania X, then Symphony of the Night. The music is still, yeah, you get the idea. I love this stuff. I think these should be worth more money, but there's just so many toys being made these days. It's crazy. So we have Dracula. We have Alucard. That's really, really nice. He has a big long sword. We have Simon. That is, look how chiseled he is. He's so chiseled, his chin is actually getting paint scuffs on the bubble. Big morning star. There's this whip wrapped around him. It was so well done. Colors worked. The sculpt was just solid. There's the knife. There's a sword. There's the jug. The candles, which I'm not sure I can do with the candle. Like you can't put it on a wall. And then they figured out there wasn't too many humanoid characters they can really make. So it was a wise decision to make the succubus. And she comes with the little groundskeeping hunchback guy that's so hard to hit. That's usually how I died in the game. It's a wonderful series. Oh yeah, she has a big axe underneath there too, which is really cool. And she can hold that axe. I wish they made more. I really do. If there was an unproduced series, I wish I could get my little paws on it. So we are off to the races. We're going to wrap it up with the strong and start with the weak here. So these are just more random 90s stuff. Here is a trashed Carmen Hodge. And look how beat up that card is. It's kind of strange how I keep bumping into the Mutant Genesis series over and over. Like I think we found 4 of this character now. Most of these mid-series have not really gone up in value. Like $5 each, $10 each. Age of Apocalypse Weapon X, that will be a bit stronger in value, but these were aimed for collectors. That's what I keep mentioning through a lot of these videos when you get to 90s toys. There's the mixture of toys that were meant for kids to play with, and they did, and then adults came in and they were buying up tons of this stuff too, and that's why everything's still packaged or loose complete. If 100,000 was made of a toy in the 80s, you would assume 80% of it's in the garbage or destroyed. And then with 90s toys, you have to assume like 50% of it survived. It's a huge difference. So I don't have this one packed away for the collection. Same, here we go again. Fang outfit. I feel bad for Fang. If I'm correct, he did not survive the Brood escapades in the X-Men series and turned into a Brood. Poor guy. Then we have a Spawn. We have, is this? No, it's not Angela. Look at this. Where's the name? Look at that. Where's the name? Oh, my finger on it? There it is. Domina must be one of the other angels. A little more uncommon. I actually have not bumped into this figure that often anymore. And if you think about it too, like you go to toy shows and no one even brings Spawn. Like even all the vintage stuff isn't worth big buku bucks. The final series, like series 34, is worth money, and a couple things sprinkled here and there. But yeah, there's no one like screaming for Spawn at toy shows. I just started realizing that. It's fascinating how it was so big, and then now it's just, it's there. It's always present, but it never bubbled back up into the focus of the collectors or any other merchandising. I mean, it's here and there, but you get the idea. It's just, it hasn't come to the forefront of pop culture in a long time. Let that go. And this is just trashed. I feel like I need to wash my hands if I touch these things. Maverick. Yeah, just let all this stuff go. Then we have Amanda Kirby from the Earth for $4. Kmart, $5.99. There's a good profit margin for those collectors and dealers. She actually had 3 different head sculpts. It was kind of crazy, I know. But when it comes to, oh, I see it right there. There's the alternate right there. I think the kid did too. The stars, let alone the contracts that they may sign, they give them some leeway in the likeness. So if maybe it's too close to their likeness, then the actor will be like, I don't want that. And they have to keep it more loosely based. Or maybe they want it to look like them. And then they're like, it needs to look really much better than me. Go back and resculpt it. This one I think is more the opposite. It's like we don't want it to look like the actress. And then we have crazy fun Japanese toys. So collecting crazy Japanese robot stuff that came over here from Japan in like the late 80s and 90s was exciting. It was, you have no idea what the hell you're picking up. Like, what is this? What is this? The crab gunner? What's this from? You had no idea. This so much fun stuff. Of course, nowadays we have the websites and databases and Google Lens. And we know what the hell we're looking at now, but you just pick this stuff up for $5 or $10, and it's just really cool. This was an import from Hepcat Comics. It's a small world, $10. No idea where Hepcat Comics is from. But yeah, by Takara, pretty funky. And then we have an Aura Battler, Dana O'Shea. Sounds like a... All the alien robots were from Ireland. SF fantasy figure. I didn't know it was a fantasy figure. Thank you for explaining to me. I thought this was a real Irish person coming to Japan for battle. But Aura Battler Dunbine is a pretty cool series. There's some more Beast mechs, and there's the main Aura Battler. And again, just great fun stuff. I'll probably pop him. I'm pop this guy probably in more years than I want to imagine. All nice and clean. Look at the... Oh, wow. He's pretty cool, actually. I have to question the appendage. Here, let's take him out of the package. Oh, can't get him out. Can't get him out. Come on. Get off. Get out. Lev's there for the moment. Oh, I see. Oh, something fell out. It was a toe? Oh, it was a missile. Okay. It has a weird arm shape. And they do this with villains very often. They're not humanoid looking. They have to make them more monstrous. It was just a very big theme for a number of years. Metal feet. Crazy looking. So yeah, that wraps up this little segment we did on these videos. Thank you again. We're going to keep trying to pump this stuff out every day. I got the audio system working finally. Yeah, I know. Exciting to me because I had to go through 3 extra steps in order to stop the reverberation echoing. And now it's working out finally. And it's like my actual voice is being heard. I know.